you wanted the best, you've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hey folks, Voss here from thechrisvossshow.com. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. As always, for 16 years, 24 episodes, we've been bringing the Chris Voss Show. The most amazing guests of mine, sharing their journeys of life and stories, things that you can utilize to make yourself and your life be better, or just entertain you as well. We do entertainment on this darn show. Refer the show to your family, friends, and relatives. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, Chris Voss 1, the TikTokity, and all those crazy places on the internet. Opinions expressed by guests on the podcast are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the host or the Chris Voss Show. Some guests of the show may be advertising on the podcast, but it is not an endorsement or review of any kind. Today, an amazing young man joining us today, and boy, does he have a hell of a journey we're going to get into. His book came out February 6, 2025, called Triggered to Change, A Life Full of Turbulence. John Carter joins us on the show. We're going to get into it with him. He published his book, an inspiring autobiography, which tells the story of how he was shot and partially paralyzed as a young member of the Worcester Mafia. He was put in a coma for 90 days, addicted to drugs, and sentenced to prison. That's Fridays around here. Through the hardships, he found a passion for health and fitness and decided he wanted to be a fitness trainer. He now owns Titanium Health and Fitness in Brookline, Massachusetts. Welcome to the show. How are you, John?
Hey, Chris. Thank you for having me, buddy. It's a pleasure to be here.
Hey, thanks for coming. Give us your .coms. Where do you want people to know you better on the internet?
My author website is turbulencebook.com. Turbulencebook.com. That's all my information. It brings you to my gym website, brings you all to all my websites.
There you go.
And actually, my TED Talk, I did a TED Talk previously, and that's on there too. So if your audience would like to listen to a TED Talk.
Nice. Way to go with the TED Talk there on top of the book. You got to love it. So give us a 30,000 overview of what's inside your new book.
My book is a very inspirational, motivational book. I wrote this book. I was involved in a hectic accident, and it changed my life, Chris. And I wrote about it to tell people how it changed my life and how the things I went through, the choices that I made, the bad choices I made, and then how when my head came clear and the drugs came out of my system, how the choices became better and my life got a lot better, Chris.
Wow. There you go. This is a memoir. Is that what you would you'd say? It's a bit of a memoir there?
Correct. It's a very short book, Chris. My book is 60 pages. But, Chris, I did not graduate high school. I dropped out in the 11th. And I did not pay attention to the previous 10. So Lord knows I'm no scholar, Chris. So it's my book, but I'm not a writer. I'm an author, but I wouldn't consider myself a great writer.
And so this is your first book then you've written?
Correct.
And so give us a rundown. Since this is a memoir, let's get into your bio, your life. How did you grow up, and what were some of the influences that led you down these pathways of turbulence?
Chris, I grew up in a very unconventional childhood. My father was in the mob, the mafia, organized crime. And Chris, I love my dad. He was the best father in the world. Never missed a ball game. Was always there. He was my best friend. And so when he died, I wanted to be like him. I wanted to wear his shoes. But Chris, I was not his size. And I found out real quick that I was not cut out for this mafia stuff. I found myself in a world of trouble. This man, instead of paying me a gambling debt he owed me, decided to attempt to murder me, and he shot me in the back of the head.
Really?
And Chris, in my story, being shot in the head was the easy part. As my life spiraled out of control with drug addictions, alcohol addiction, food addictions, and even prison stay, Chris.
Wow. Let's get into this a little bit more. Let's delve into this because this is a great story. Not everyone has an opportunity to change their life through getting shot in the head. So did you join the mob because you grew up with it with your father? Is that correct?
Correct. Well, I didn't join the mob. My father was the mob. I was a wannabe. I wanted to be like him, but I wasn't. I was not like him at all.
But it sounds like you were doing activity, right? If you were loaning money, or was that just kind of a favor for a friend? Or
correct, I was involved in it.
Oh, okay.
And so this man, he owed me money for gambling. He owed a debt.
Got to pay the big.
Instead of paying me, he lured me into his home, and he shot me in the back of the head, Chris.
Wow.
It was awful. And I went down, and luckily I lived. Luckily I lived. So they rushed me to the hospital.
So let me break this down a little bit more because there are details and people are going to be left hanging. How do you escape that situation or stay alive in that situation? I mean, usually when the mob wants you dead, they shoot you in the head and they cut you into pieces and put you in a bag and take you to a pig farm or a dump. So how do you survive? Like I didn't mean this as a joke, but I mean, what goes through your head when you get shot in the head? Like, what's going on? I mean, tell us, give us the play-by-play, if you would.
He walked behind me. He said, I have to shut off the security alarm to my home because we're going to enter his home. And he walked behind me and boom! That's the last thing I knew. I didn't know what happened to me.
So did you lose consciousness?
Oh, yes. I went right down. And he thought I was dead.
Oh, okay.
He thought I was dead. My partner that I was with at that time in the house was able to escape the house without getting hit by the bullet.
Oh, wow. So they tried to kill him too.
And he was able to call help for me. And so they rushed me to the hospital. And Chris, this is the messed up part. This was a messed up part. My coma was 90 days.
90 days, wow.
And it was one long dream. One long dream like I lived a whole life. Chris, but it was not an ordinary dream where it's hazy, you don't remember. This dream was vivid. Real vivid. Like, Chris, this happened in 1992. December 15th, 1992 is when I got shot. And I can remember this dream like it was yesterday. Wow. The midst of this dream was we were in the hospital and I was chained to a bed, but I had no idea why I was in the hospiil. Yeah. And I was in a room with a bunch of people I didn't know.
And you're chained to a bed.
And every day they got us, this is a dream now, remind you.
Okay.
Every day they unchained us out of the bed and got us into a swimming pool. Now, the winner of this race got to go home. Chris, it hurt like hell to get in this pool. Remember, this is a dream now. It hurt like hell, and I kept losing. And this is the first time I said in my life, I quit. That's it. I'm not getting out of this bed again. I'm not swimming again. This is crazy. That night, an old man, who I have no idea who it was, sat on my bed next to me. He said, John, you're not going to quit. You're not alone, and I'm going to coach you, and I'm going to help you. Chris, he took me to that pool daily, and he trained me, and he trained me, and he trained me. So now it's the day of the big race. He gets me down to the pool. He gives me this big pep talk. He gets me going, gets me all get up. I remember swimming like a bat out of hell. I hit the wall, and I woke out of my coma, Chris.
Really?
And I woke.
Wow.
Thank God.
So you won the race, technically? Is that?
I won the race, and I woke up. And I remember that like it was yesterday, Chris. Remember like it was yesterday. So that was a crazy, crazy thing.
Yeah.
So now I spend 90 days in a coma, and another 6 months on top of that in the hospital. So 9 months total.
Mm-hmm.
Now I get discharged from the hospital. I go home to Worcester, Mass, to my mom's basement apartment. And this is where depression set in big time. In the hospital, I was never alone. There were people all around me. Now I'm in a basement apartment alone. Chris, it wasn't before long. I started drinking. I added drugs to it. Before I knew what was going on, my life was out of control. I was 330 pounds sitting in a wheelchair, and I just thought my life was over. But Chris, I could not afford my drug habit. Mm-hmm. So my bright ideas, after just getting shot in the head, my idea was to become a drug dealer. I'm going to start dealing drugs. Yeah. Imagine this. Imagine this. I just get shot in the head, and now I want to start dealing drugs.
Yeah.
But the police did not find this too amusing, Chris.
The police did not.
And
that should have been the title of your book. The police did not find this too amusing.
Hey, tell me what.
Put that in your second book.
So, boom! My door comes crashing in. 10 cops come rolling in. And Chris, I thought I was dead. I thought I was being mugged. But then I heard the walkie-talkies. And I said to myself, oh, thank God. Chris, seriously, I said to myself, wow, this is over. Chris, my life was in such a mess.
It's not usually something you hear from criminals. Thank God it's the police.
And then I remember the cop saying to me, because he seen me smiling, he said, Kid, what are you laughing at? You know how much trouble you're in here? I said, sir, you have no idea. This is a good thing.
It's a good thing.
So they take me they find drugs and money in my apartment, and they take me to jail. But I made bail. I remember getting out of jail. I was in the parking lot now. I was 330 pounds, no more drugs, no money, nowhere to go. My brother-in-law says to me, you need to get sober. Yeah. Chris, at that time, I had no options. I have a lot of options. So I said, okay, I'll do it. I'll do whatever it takes. So he drove me to detox. Mm-hmm. Now, after about a week in detox, my head started clearing up. Drugs started coming out of my system. Yeah. I started getting a little clearer, and I wanted to stay sober. I wanted to. And when you're in detox, if you want to go on and stay sober, you have to go to a halfway house. Now, a halfway house has to accept you. You have to be interviewed. So now I go to this halfway house. I roll into the office. I'm waiting for the executive director to come interview me. And this is where my life changed, Chris. This woman comes walking into the room, and I could see there was something wrong. She sits down and she tells me about her story, how she was in a cocaine accident and it almost cost her life, and she was in a wheelchair for years. Now, this is in 1992 when I met her, and she was already sober for 20 years when I met her. Mm-hmm. I couldn't believe it. I was looking at her in awe. Chris, the wheelchair was hell. Hell. And this woman just told me she got out of it. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
I was in awe, and she was glowing. She was happy. I said, I want what this woman has. This woman, her name is Deb, became one of my best friends in life. She's actually the woman who wrote the foreword in my book, Triggered to Change. She wrote the foreword in this book. She changed my life, Chris.
That is awesome. That is awesome. What an influence.
Unbelievable.
And so you started work to get out of the wheelchair then?
Chris, unbelievable. This woman was like God to me. I believed every word she said. But just because you were getting sober doesn't mean your life gets better. All your problems disappear. Because I still had this court case over my head.
Yeah.
So Dad took me to court. And I remember I'm saying to myself, I'm in a wheelchair. I'm with Deb. My first offense. This judge is going to have leniency on me. There's no way he's going to put me in prison. I rolled up to him. He was about 80 at the time. He put his glasses down. He said, Mr. Carter, he said, we don't discriminate in this courtroom. You will get the same sentence any drug dealer in my community gets.
Oh.
Chris, he gave me 10 years.
Oh, wow.
At that time, Chris, I was so mad and upset. This man just put a first-time offender in a wheelchair in prison with mass murderers. But that all changed to being positive, Chris. And I'll tell you about that in a minute. So now, Dad looks at me. She says, John, many in your shoes would run. Face your fears. You are not alone. I'll be with you. So, Chris, this woman's word to me was gold. So right after prison, I went without a hitch. Right after prison, I'm a big guy. I'm 6'2". Chris, those big metal doors slammed behind me. I was in a cell 6x6 for another 10 years. Chris, I cried like a baby. I cried and cried, and I could not believe I did this to myself. Couldn't believe it. Chris, this is where my life goes into fitness now. The next morning, 3 convicts entered my cell. And I said, oh, boy, I'm in trouble here. And they said to me, we're friends of your dad's. And we're here to help you.
Oh, wow.
And we're going to start by getting you out of that wheelchair. Chris,
wow.
I said, oh, I've been in this wheelchair for years. They said, we don't care if we have to carry you. You are not going to use that wheelchair in here. Chris, for months, they took me to the prison gym. They trained me. I was getting stronger and stronger using that chair less and less. And who would have thought 3 convicts in jail would have taught me a lesson like this? Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Chris, I got to put this point in here.
Okay.
In prison, there's a lot of recidivism. A lot of people coming in and getting out. A big revolving door. And I was in jail for years now. And I noticed this, and I seen this, a person, and I seen this, I didn't see him for a long time. And he tells me the story, how he got out and he came back in. I went back to my cell that night, and I'm talking to my dad who's in heaven. I said, Dad, please help me here. Guide me. And right away, a lesson. He taught me lots of lessons in life, Chris, and they're all in this book. But one lesson he taught me, plan to feel to plan. I said, oh my goodness, I'm going to make a plan here because I'm not coming back here. Immediately, I get on the phone with Deb from the halfway house, and she says, I've been waiting for this call. She says, of course I'm going to help you. You're not alone. And Chris, thank God, because I got out of jail at 32 with $100 to my name and a bus ticket. My chances of going back to Worcester and making it was zero. I would have never made it. I would have been a boatload of trouble. So I got on the bus and I walked my fears and I took that left. I went to Boston to that halfway house. And thank God, Chris. Thank God.
Mm-hmm. Thank God. All that good stuff. And so from there, I believe you have your own gym now. Is that correct?
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Tell us about that. How did you get involved in getting your own gym, and how long has it been going, and some of the details there?
It started in prison, like I told you, when the prisoners got me in shape, but I did not put the dots together how it really helped me mentally. I was getting stronger physically, but I could not understand why I was feeling so good about myself. I could be in my little cell and I would feel real good about myself. And I'm like, I'm in prison. I'm not supposed to feel good. What's going on here? So I did a lot of research. I learned the endorphins being released into my blood from working out makes me feel better.
Yeah.
And so now I get out of prison, and I know I want to be in fitness. I know I want to do this. I went to every big gym in the Boston vicinity, and they wouldn't give me the time of day. I slur. I walk with a limp. You know, when I'm going for interviews, I'm kind of dressed up, so you can't really see my physique. I'm a pretty muscular guy. So my slurred speech and my gait of my walk are not so apparent because I'm in good shape. So my friend asked me, do you want to go to the gym with me? I said, sure. And he was going to Boston Sports Club. And that was one of my gyms on the list that I wanted to apply for that I have not yet. So I'm in my gym clothes, I'm working out, and I spot the manager. He's a big, muscular guy, very intimidating. I said, maybe I'm not going to approach him. But then I seen him smiling, very friendly, giving people towels, being very friendly. I said, this is my chance. I'm going to approach him and I'm going to talk to him. I approach him, Chris. He says to me, I have a few minutes. Why don't we sit down in my office? That few minutes turned into an hour-long conversation of my story. And he looked at me and he said, can you start tomorrow?
Wow.
And I still have not told him about the prison part yet. I told him my whole story, but I left out the prison part. And he hands me the application, and right there's the query. I said, oh, boy, what am I going to do here? I said, I'm going for it. I'm going to be truthful and honest, and I'm going to go for it. Chris, I told him the story, and without batting an eyelash, he looked right at me and says, can you start tomorrow?
Really?
I says, didn't you just hear me? I just told you I was a felon. He said, first of all, thank you for being honest. And second of all, I just wish my mom was alive to speak to you. His mom had passed away a few years earlier of alcohol addiction. And he said, if she heard you talk, she just might make a plan and not have another drink. And so that's how that started. So now I go home, and that night I get the phone call. It's my new boss saying, my morning person just called in sick, and I'm an hour away. Can you open my gym for me? I said, sure. This is my first day. Chris, he tells me the combination to his gym. I couldn't believe he just trusted an ex-felon with the combination of his gym. Couldn't believe it. So now I go in, I open up, and that Boston Sports Club, Chris, when you join that, you get what's called a PFW, a private free workout. And so it's my job as a trainer, when the person gets a free workout, to then sell them to a package of training sessions, so it becomes my client. So this man comes walking. It's 6 in the morning now. He's looking for the kid I'm replacing. And I said, I have a few minutes. I can take care of you. We can sit down, talk, and go from there. Chris, he's 60 years old. He's overweight. He proceeds to tell me how he has diabetes, how he has a L5 slip disc, he has a neck for. I'm saying, oh my God. Talking about first of all, I'm trying not to show him I'm nervous. I says, we can go have a little workout. I take him to the floor, I give him a little light workout. Now I bring him back to my office, and it's time for me to sell him so it becomes my client. So I hand him a menu of the prices, and he says, I'll take one of these 50-packs. Chris, it's $6,000.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking at him, and I'm trying to keep a straight face. I have no idea what to do. I see my manager walk in now. It's about 6:30. He comes in. I said, sir, can you excuse me? And I run to my manager. I says, David, this guy wants to buy a big package. I need help. Follow me, he says. He walks in the office. He closes the deal like nothing, like a magician. The guy leaves, and he turns to me and he says, here at Boston Sports Club, that package has been available for 3 weeks. You are the first person in Boston to sell one.
Good for you.
Talk about a first day, everybody. And now that gentleman that I signed in 2001 at Boston Sports Club is still my client. I trained him, his wife, his daughter, and his son.
That's awesome, man.
I love it. So my manager, this is how I opened up my own gym now. My manager, the one who hired me, was leaving Boston Sports Club to open his own private gym. And it wasn't long after I got the phone call asking me if I would come work and help him out. So I came, I looked at it, and I made a big decision, Chris. Am I going to leave Boston Sports Club? Now, I'm a single dad. I'm a single father. And I have a guaranteed income coming in. Now I'm going to go to my own private gym, and I have to do all the marketing, and I have to do all the getting my clients. So that was a challenge for me, but I did it.
And how many years ago was that?
That was in 2009.
There you go.
I worked with him for 2 years before I owned it. I worked with him for 2 years. And at that time, it's when he decided he wanted to make the gym more public, more clients, and more trainers. Right now, the gym was completely private, and my clients loved that. They could talk, they could get inspired and train. So I had to make a choice. What was I going to do? Buy him out? That's what I did, Chris. I said I have to do it. Chris,
I'm going to take a shot.
When I bought him out, the office in the gym was my bedroom. I had $18 to my name when I bought him out. I said, you know what? I'm going for it. And I did it. And thank God, because I opened it in 2012, Chris, and here I am today thriving. I love my gym, love my clients, love inspiring. All right, so I did not tell people my story. I wasn't going to tell somebody that's coming in to check out my gym, oh, I was in the mob, I got shot in the head, I was in prison, I was a drug dealer, but join my gym. it's a great gym. Chris, they run. So I came up with a story, and I did not want to lie. So I told people I was in a hunting accident. I was shot in the head. And that really wasn't a lie, Chris, because I was shot in the head. I just left out the part that I was the one being hunted. I just leave that part out, Chris. So that's where my TED Talk came in, because I had this client, and after a while, when you work with somebody for 3 times a week for months, you build a rapport and you start trusting them. So I started divulging a little bit of my story each time to her. And finally, she said to me, she says, boy, she says, I just thought you were in a car accident. She says, I had no idea you went through all that. She says, you have to tell people your story, and you can start with a TED Talk.
Yeah.
And she had the connections to the TED Talk. So she got me an interview. I remember walking out of the interview. I'm saying to myself, what the hell did she just get me involved with here? There was no way I could do this.
Yeah.
And she looked at me. She says, John, you are not alone. I'm going to help you. Chris, for months, she came to my gym and she coached me on doing this TED Talk. It was awesome.
Wow.
I remember hitting the stage. I got a standing ovation my first time talking. Chris, the adrenaline pump that I got from that, I felt like I was back on the football team again. It was incredible. So I said to myself, I see my clients getting inspired. They love talking to me. Now I see a whole audience receiving my message well. I have to tell my story in a different way. So that's why I wrote my book, Triggered to Change, Chris. And my book, I always talk about not being alone. For years, I felt alone, Chris. I volunteer for a charity called Service Dog Project. We raise, train, and donate Great Danes to the mobility impaired, with first responders and veterans getting priority. And Chris, my book, the proceeds are going to help the farm. And Chris, they've given so much to me. I needed to give back, and that was a big inspiration of this book, because they are such a great charity. I've met so many veterans that came back with mobility problems, and not only are they getting a great support dog for their physical means, they're getting an emotional dog that's going to be their best friend. Yeah. My dog is with me 24 hours a day, Chris. He is my best friend. I have 2 of them. My first one, Jagger, he got very sick. And I saved his life, and I retired him from my service dog and made him my pet. But Chris, my 83-year-old mom with dementia lives with me. I had no idea Jagger was going to be her service dog. She'll be in her wheelchair, and she'll start crying for no apparent reason. Jagger will see that. He gets right up, goes right over, puts his big head. He's 200 pounds. Puts his big head right in her lap. She totally forgets why she was crying. Smile from ear to ear. Oh, anybody dealing with a family member with Alzheimer's, dementia, any kind of memory problem, I'll tell you what a godsend this is. Unbelievable.
So as we roll out the show, give us your final pitch out on people, how to get to know you better, to buy the book, et cetera, and to get to know your story more.
You want to go to turbulencebook.com. Turbulence is my dog's name. So Life Full of Turbulence made sense. And I'll tell you guys something. It's a great charity, an awesome charity. If you want to support them, go to Amazon and get the book, and please leave a review. They change lives. And they started with me, boy. They changed my life. It's unbelievable.
Well, you've had so many great stories and some great opportunities and so many people who helped you along the way. It's great that you give back. So thank you for coming on the show and sharing your story and journey. We certainly appreciate it.
Oh, Chris, thank you, my friend. You guys have a great day, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, John. Thanks, John, for tuning in. Order John's book up wherever fine books are sold, called Triggered to Change, A Life Full of Turbulence, out February 6, 2025. Thanks so much for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, linkedin.com/Chris Voss, Chris Voss 1, the TikTok, and all those crazy places on the internet. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you next time. And that should have us out. Great.